For this pattern, I'm gonna use a cotton yarn, the Nature Cotton Soft Feather, and I'm gonna use a bigger hook than the recommended one, which is 4mm hook. So I'll start by chaining 300, a long chain. So I'm gonna start with you, then I'll make the 300 chain, then come back to finish our tutorial. So we'll make a slip knot. So a slip knot here to start with. Then I'm gonna chain 300. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So here I have finished chaining 300, and now we'll go to the next step, which will be the repetitive step for the rest of our work. So we'll make 2 pieces of the same. This is my first piece, and then I'll make a separate piece, and then while progressing I'll show you how to fix everything together. So now coming back to the first row now. So 1, 2, 3, on the 4th chain from the hook, this one, I'll make 1 double crochet, and another double crochet, all in the same chain. So this will be considered my first cluster. So the cluster is the initial chain 3, then 2 double crochet. Now what's gonna happen? I'm gonna skip 2, and on the next chain I will make a cluster, which is 3 double crochet in the same chain. So 1 double crochet, 2, and 3. And I will be repeating the same till the end of this row. So again I will skip 2, and on the next chain 1 cluster, which is 3 double crochet in the same chain. I will basically do the same till the end of this row, and then for the next row we'll be changing the color and show you how to insert a new color and go on to the next row. So this is all we have to do till the end. 3 double crochet in the same chain, and every time we have to skip 2 chains. As usual, you will find the written pattern in my blog, and you'll find the link in the description box. Also, if you have noticed, this is the granny stripe. So if you're new to the granny stripe, I'll put the link to the beginner video how to achieve it slowly, and then you can come back here and follow the rest of the pattern. So here I'm finishing the last row with 3 double crochet, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and then I'm gonna make knots and fasten off here and cut my thread, and from here I'll start working on my next row. So here I'm joining a new color. So as usual, I'll make a slip knot to start my next row, and I'll join from the last point, from the last double crochet, and I'll make a slip knot first, or slip stitch, and then I'll chain 3. 1, 2 and 3, and then I'll turn. So from this point you have this extra thread. You can either hide them while you're working your new clusters from this row, or you can sew them inside your work later on once you're done. I prefer to hide them now, so I don't have much to do later. So now I have chain 3, and I'll be working in the previous spaces, only those spaces. I'll make clusters in those spaces, which is 3 double crochet. So I have chain 3. Okay, wait. Ensure that my thread is tight enough on the hook. So okay, I will make my first cluster in the space. 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, and 3 double crochet in the space. So the colors, the joining colors are chosen randomly, so you can choose any color you want. There is no certain order to it. Now the next space, 3 double crochet. So we are doing the granny stripes. So now I'm at the end of the second row, and what I'm gonna do is a double crochet on top of the initial chain 3. So yarn over on top of the loop, or better inside the space between the double crochet and the chain 3, make your double crochet. And here again I'm gonna fasten off to introduce a new color. Oops. Okay, so I'm done with the orange. Now I'm introducing a new color, same process, slip knot. I'll introduce my color inside the last stitch where I fasten off, and from there I'll start working my row. So again, chain 3, turn. So this time the space is in the beginning, which is here, so the chain 3 will be considered as a first double crochet, and then I'll make 2 double crochet inside the space, always hiding my thread along. Okay, so this is the beginning. If you remember on the previous row when we started the new color, I finished with 3 double crochet or a cluster, then I started my next row with a chain 3, and then I made a cluster in the next space. Now is the opposite. We finish with 1 double crochet and we start with a cluster. So whenever you finish with 1 double crochet, your next work will start with a cluster, and whenever you finish with a cluster, your next row will start with 1 double crochet. I hope it's clear till now. Just follow the video and you'll understand. Also follow the written pattern in my blog. Now, as usual, I'll make 3 double crochet in every space. Here I am ironing the piece already stitched on the middle sides from both sides, and then I'm ironing a little bit so it is flat and easy to continue the rest of the stitching. So as you can see, I put a cloth on top of my crochet dress so it's not ruined and I can properly iron it. And then we will continue with the next step. So I'm gonna sew this together. This will be the middle, and then I'll leave a space for the collar here, for behind and in front, like a V collar. And then I'll sew on the sides again for the dress. Before that, we'll take the measurement for how long we're gonna leave for the collar. So I have done 300 chains initially. It's 189. Okay, as we said, 75, and I'll put a marker for the sewing later on. So I'll start sewing from this point for stitching the garment together, and then I will measure 75 also from this side, and then I'll start sewing this side, and I'll show you how to do it in a while. Okay, so here we're coming to the last steps. I have showed you already that I have ironed the piece, so whenever I'm going to stitch the outside, the stitches and the work is even and it's easier. So also we went through how to stitch the inside, so I used the crochet method to join everything together, and that's how it looks for now. Okay, and I have told you to start from where we put the stitch markers, but also for an even look you can start from the bottom and going towards the stitch marker. It's up to you. Now I'm gonna stitch the outside, and this time I'm gonna make it from the bottom so my stitches are even. And now I'm gonna show you how. So I have this white thread matching the two white sides, and I'll take the same crochet hook, which is 4.5 millimeter. I will make a slip knot. I will leave a long thread later for sewing, and I will make the slip knot. Okay, now you see here we finished this one with a double crochet, and this one was a beginning of a row, which is chain 3. So where we need to begin our work is the top stitch. So after the chain 3 there is the top one here. I will start, and then I will match it onto the top of this one. So let's see, this is the double crochet and this is the stitch over here. I will insert my hook, and then again the chain 3 and the top stitch over here, and I'll insert, and then I'll join with a slip stitch. Okay, leaving our long thread on the side. So pull your yarn through and pull through the knot and secure your first stitch. Now we must make sure that all the stitches are aligned together. So this is the first here and this is the first here. We'll make sure they are all aligned equally, and then okay, so this is the first one on this side and this is the first on this side, and then I will join with a slip stitch. All I'm using is a slip stitch to join everything together. Okay, just put this aside. Okay, so pull through all and through all. Then this is the next one. You have to take it slowly so you don't miss any stitch, yeah? And you have to look properly into both sides to make sure you're going through both stitches. So same thing. And this is the third one. this is the one on this side, matching this one on the other side, and pull through all. I will continue till we arrive at the same level of the opening of my v-neck. I will show you how. So finish this one. So where to stop? So you see here, this is the end of my stitches. Wait. Okay. So this is the end of my stitches over here, and I will make sure it is aligned, and I will stop at the last one here. So here should be my work finishing. You can put a stitch marker, or you can just once you are near the closure, you can just count and see how many more you have to do. So we'll continue with this work till we reach the required point. Again, do it slowly so you don't miss on any stitch, and they're all matching one side to the other. So as you can see, this is the finished look here and the final result of the dress. It's not a perfect dress, but this is my first trial in making one. As I have mentioned, I'll be correcting the pattern, and I'll put the right one and how to stitches on a blog post, and I'll tell you where I went wrong and how to fix it as well. But so far it's not as bad as I expected as a first dress. I hope you guys like it. As again I mentioned, this is not a tutorial, but it's just to share with you my first dress and how I went through and how I made it. I hope you like it. Let me know what you think in the comment box, and until next time, take care. Bye bye.